Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
I'm here to save the day. I'm here to save the day.
Soon I will be invincible. because comics.
Welcome to Because Comics!
Woo!
This is episode 13!
Spooky!
A very spooky episode. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and I'm joined by my co-host, the unspeakable Mike Christensen.
Actually...
Yeah, and I say unspeakable for a very specific reason, because the most spookiest part about this episode, everyone, is I've actually been sitting across from someone... I didn't know who he was this whole time.
Yeah.
I've been saying Mike Christensen, and he's been playing along with it.
As in Christian
son. But in fact, it is Mike Christensen.
As in Kristen son.
Christensen.
Or Christensen,
not
I guess.
Christian son.
Kristen,
so,
as in Kristen Sin.
But
yeah, Jay did the recent thing where he found out that he's been pronouncing my name wrong for a long time. And once again, this has happened before.
This is true.
Once again, you were corrected by one of my friends, not by me. Because you were pronouncing it Christensen the way I did for like 13 years.
Forever.
Like, for a long time in my life, I also pronounced it that way. And then one of my friends was listening to the show for the first time. He's like, does Jay know that he's pronouncing your name wrong? I was like, I've never mentioned it.
But finally we got it out there, cleared out into the air, and of course I could have shied away from this, but instead we've just dived headfirst into it.
We rolled to the curve. We steer into the curve.
Which is what most comics are doing these days. We're keeping straight to our medium, so...
That's true. We just embrace the weirdness.
So remember, everybody, it is Mike Christensen.
Christensen.
See,
now you're overthinking.
Now I'm doing it too much.
You're trying so hard.
My face is just breaking right now.
Exactly. It's weird.
All right, everybody. Well, this, as we said before, is our very spooky episode of Because
Happy
Comics.
Halloween!
Happy Halloween, everybody. We're a little early, but this is going to be our episode right before Halloween. Our next episode will be right after. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to celebrate it with some spooky main segment and maybe some fun games. We'll find out.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Cool.
But let's kick things off like we always do.
With our perfectly ordinary pull list.
Normal pull list.
Every episode we talk about the comics we're reading. And Jay, what are you reading that we should be reading on these dark and stormy nights inside?
Oh, yes. Oh, so very stormy where we are.
I know.
Always storms.
All this rain we're getting in California.
Yeah, there's always rain and storm here. But on my maybe stormy nights, I'm currently reading Edge of Spider-Verse.
Okay, now... I haven't been reading it, and I've been kind of avoiding spoilers until I actually get to it. But
perfect, I'm going to spoil.
So yeah, no, but I mean, like, let's say someone... I mean, we know who Spider-Man is, but let's say someone doesn't know what's going on recently, because I'm a little behind. Mm-hmm. Maybe someone, for whatever reason, just saw Amazing Spider-Man 2. Maybe after watching or listening to the episode of Blockbuster Punch-Up where you talk about it.
Or listening to our episode where we reveal about this background.
For whatever reason, someone wanted to read more Spider-Man. They pick it up. Edge of Spider-Verse is like
Edge of Spider-Verse. I like Spider-Man.
So it's...
What is going on here?
But it's like a crossover, right?
It is 100% a crossover because there is like 99% not Spider-Man in Edge of Spider-Verse. Okay. So, well, there is, but it's not our Spider-Man.
It's not like when he teams up with the Avengers or with X-Men or something.
It's not like the end of... so to give you guys the idea of what Edge of Spider-Verse is that all of these issues of this short series, I believe it's only going to be 5 or 6 issues.
Sounds right.
Edge of Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And it's all of the different universes or parallel dimensions of Spider-Man that are going on with different versions of Spider-Man, and some of them are Peter Parker and some of them are not Peter Parker, but they are all spidery people, Spider-Men, Spider-Women, Spider things.
Again, you're pronouncing things in a very strange way, putting a T in Spider.
It's a very weird episode, everyone.
It's true.
Yes, but that's going to be my go-to for any time I screw up.
I'm going with it.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
So Edge of Spider-Verse. So I'll just give you a quick summary of how, so far there's only been 2 issues, 2 very different issues, and it's because each issue takes place in a different spider universe, basically. The first issue is written by David Hine and Fabrice Sapolsky.
Okay.
And it is drawn by Richard Eisenoff. And this first issue is very much plays to my love of The Shadow. Now, if anyone knows who the Shadow is, bravo. And maybe you saw that Alec Baldwin movie. But the Shadow...
That's right. I forgot that happened.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love that film. So, not to talk the most about Shadow, but this version of the Spider-Verse is where Spider-Man is like the Shadow. He is...
It's Spider-Man Noir.
It's Spider-Man Noir.
Because they were doing a series of those noir comics in Marvel. Gosh, this would have been maybe 2009, 2010, something like that. There was X-Men Noir and Daredevil Noir.
Yeah, they were all up in that.
There were a bunch of them.
Did Sin City just come out? Something must have just happened.
No, it just sort of hit. I don't know what it was.
I am a personal fan of Noir. So
they were fun.
I didn't know what to expect from Edge of Spider-Verse, but I was like, I gotta check this out. I opened up the first issue and I was like, this is not what I expected, but I love this kind of stuff, so let's dive in. So, I won't get into details. Spider-Man in Spider-Man Noir is really fun and very different. It's still Peter Parker, but it's Peter Parker in the 1930s.
Sure.
And he gets his powers in a different way. And they are explained like the Spider-Sense is explained in a different way. And he wears like all black. It's almost like the Batman of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's a cool like leather.
Yeah, leather.
Outfit.
And his like webbing is black. It's
got like a scarf?
Sort of. No, he has like almost like aeronautical goggles over his eyes.
Like goggles.
Yeah, and he's got like this kind of like almost like black leathery face mask that goes over. And he wears like that black trench coat. He's just the badass Shadow version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But what really is fun about this whole issue is that our main villain... is not of the series, but of this issue, is Mysterio. But since it's the 1930s, by the way, if you don't know this already, I freaking love Mysterio. He's one of my favorite. Fun fact about me, I love Mysterio and really wish he would make it into a movie or something more. I just love that character. But to my wonderful surprise, he is this, Mysterio is perfect as a villain in the 1930s because it's very much like, check out the mysterious Mysterio and the, stage act.
Works very well to that sort of...
And his plan is really fun, really awesome, and it really works for that time period and kind of makes him out to be a bit of a badass.
Nice.
And I highly recommend this first issue. Now I'm going to leap over to the second issue. Now, this is very different from the first issue, not in the 1930s. This issue is written by Jason Latour, and the art is by Robbie Rodriguez. Very different look, very different style, and it follows a parallel universe where instead of Peter Parker being bit by a Spider-Man, that would have been a very odd universe, guys.
Those are called hickeys, Jay.
Yeah, yes. I don't know. So, instead of Peter Parker being bitten, Gwen Stacy is bitten by a spider, and she becomes Spider-Woman. And in almost, in response to this, Peter Parker does something to, he sees Spider-Woman and wants to, I wish I had that kind of power, because Peter Parker is still getting picked on, except he's no longer Spider-Man to have, that balance to be like, well, at least I'm Spider-Man. I can beat up Flash because, have those moments where he beats up the bullies and doesn't realize he can do it. Nope, he's still Peter Parker in this version. And he does some experiments because he is still a scientist. It goes wrong, and he may or may not be a supervillain that we might know in this version that we know in our current. I won't tell you which supervillain. I'll let it surprise for you.
Interesting, yeah.
But through this act, some things go awry, and Peter Parker may no longer be with us in this universe.
Oh, okay.
And because of this, and the reason why this is important, I'm not spoiling anything here. I mean, sort of. But the reason why this is important is just like Peter Parker is spurned on to be a hero because of Uncle Ben's death, Gwen blames Peter's possible demise on herself. So this is almost like, this is why her reason to take up responsibility.
Peter is her Uncle Ben.
Peter is her Uncle Ben in this universe. And it's a really fun dynamic because her father, if you don't remember, is the captain of the police department.
Yes.
So it creates like a very interesting, the police is chasing after Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman, knows that obviously he's her dad. He doesn't know this. It's a very, very fun play. And it's just interesting to see this world that we know and love to be kind of turned on its head and flipped around in a lot of fun, different ways with this Spider-Gwen, basically, as they've been calling her online. And guys, Gwen Stacy as Spider-Woman is just the shit. So amazing. Guys, that is my pull list. Edge of Spider-Verse, please check it out. If not just for the second issue, if you also love Noir, just check them out both. They seem to be leading to something pretty interesting.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. All right, Mike, what is your pull for this spooky episode?
My pull is Big Trouble in Little China.
Very spooky.
Yeah, it's a comic from Boom. For those who may not have seen the movie, you and I only saw this movie this year.
Very strangely, almost at the same time.
Right around
separately.
Then.
Not in conjunction. Like, I'm going to watch it this weekend, you watch it this weekend.
But it's on Netflix, and I do suggest people check it out. It's a very fun movie. It's John Carpenter, but like very...
Was it John Carpenter?
It's John Carpenter.
Wow.
Yeah, it's John Carpenter. It's Kurt Russell. He's this trucker who... I feel like it's like a parody of...
Oh, it is.
Like the gunslinger character coming in and being like, he's clearly not the main character of the story.
Oh, yeah.
But it's meant to make you think he's the main character.
He thinks he is the main character.
He thinks he is,
and
the movie treats him like it, but it's very clear from what's going on. He is not the main character.
He's the most incapable of all of them.
He's just a buffoon.
Yeah.
He's just this blustering blowhard.
Is it very similar to this comic as well?
Oh, yeah. The comic picks up, this is the funny thing, picks up immediately where the movie left off.
Really?
Like, to the frame. And
because doesn't the movie end with like a bit of a cliffhanger?
It's got a bit of a cliffhanger. I won't get into what it is for people who may not have seen the movie. I do suggest you check it out. That movie's super cheesy, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell's just hamming it up and clearly having a ball. The comic picks up immediately where it leaves off, and there's the sense like, oh, well, maybe there's unfinished business. Not to say that,
In Little China.
In Little China, exactly. It's not called like More Trouble in Little China or anything like that. But it's just...
Which still would have been in line.
But it does kind of center back on Chinatown. It's not just like following the adventures of Jack Burton. It's like, no, there's stuff going on because he's not the main character.
Yeah.
But he kind of is. The funny thing... Oh, I'm sorry. This is written by Eric Powell. Story by John Carpenter and Eric Powell.
Wow.
So he's back working on this project. And the art is by
Couldn't leave it alone.
The art is by Brian Churilla, who does a great job with capturing kind of a cartoony feel for the characters and cool like caricature versions almost.
And it definitely is still Kurt Russell, right?
Oh yeah,
Like it's definitely those people still.
Yeah, it's still very much based on them. The guy who plays Egg, like that character looks exactly the
Like
same.
the actor. Awesome.
Yeah, but it's funny. I've read the first 4 issues, and every issue he tells a story about one of his ex-wives. And we start to get the sense that maybe this world is a lot weirder than he has noticed and has been for a really long time.
Interesting.
It's possible he's been having supernatural encounters for a while and been completely oblivious.
The whole world is just crazy and he's just finally figuring it out.
Like, he noticed it in Big Trouble in Little China because it was unavoidable. It's possible that he's even more of an idiot than we thought.
That's amazing.
I don't want to say any more than that, but it's a really fun series, and the visuals there are the way you can only do in a comic book. They're able to kind of go further with more weird things.
Because in that medium, you can accept the madness of it even more so.
Yeah, it works really well for that.
Awesome.
Definitely, guys, I suggest you watch Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, please.
And then check out the comic from Boom, because it's very, very much spiritually still in that keeping.
I love the concept of him just being like, this whole time everybody was like...
No, he's not realizing it. He's telling these stories, and we as the audience are going,
oh,
what a dumbass!
So he still doesn't see
He still doesn't realize that when these stories he tells about why his marriage didn't work out.
You know how sometimes your wife turns into a scorpion and flies out the window? Isn't that just odd? It's like, that's very odd. That's not normal.
He's like, yeah, she was having these mood swings, and we're watching, we're like, I know why.
This is awesome.
It's because there's monsters around you.
Oh, John Carpenter, thank you very much.
It's so fun, guys. Check it out.
Badass. All right. Well, that was a great pull. So, guys, that was our pull list. So now let's move on to our spooky main segment. Mike, take it away.
Whoa! Marvel Zombies number 1 through 5. It's exactly what it sounds like. Today's main segment, we're going to be talking about a miniseries from 2005 called Marvel Zombies. There have actually been several Marvel Zombies miniseries.
There are. It was very popular.
We're just doing the first 5-issue miniseries. It's written by Robert Kirkman, who, created The Walking Dead.
He's got his foot in the spooky zombie genre.
This would have been right around then, though. Right around when the comics started, maybe a year or two after. It was a very successful comic.
Yeah.
It was immediately successful. That's how he got this job, I think. But he was a zombie guy already. Now it's like a TV show, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But, it's Robert Kirkman doing what he does, which is zombies.
And I'm so psyched because I have to say, I have had multiple encounters to read Marvel Zombies, and I never did, so I'm very excited to hear what this is actually all about.
It does not disappoint.
Oh my god.
And the art is actually by Sean Phillips, who does a lot of Ed Brubaker series.
And it's very gritty, like very style.
It looks like a zombie comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it starts with... So, Marvel Zombies has an interesting genesis because it showed up first in Ultimate Fantastic Four. For those who may not know...
Really?
The Ultimate Universe is like a spin-off of the Marvel Universe where everyone's younger. It's a lot of inspiration for like the movies.
Mm-hmm. And Brian Bendis created the universe.
Brian Bendis and Mark Millar.
Okay,
kind of co-created the universe with a lot of these series. Ultimate Fantastic Four looked like it was teasing a crossover with the main universe back in 2004, 2005. And it seemed like that's where they were going because Reed was teleconferencing with this older version. And then he opened up the wormhole and zombies came out. They were from a world made of zombies. It was all zombies.
It was just a zombie planet?
Just a zombie. It was a zombie Marvel universe.
Awesome.
It was closer to our Marvel universe where they were older, more like their counterparts in the main universe, not the Ultimates one. But then
where Nick Fury looks more like David Hasselhoff instead of Samuel L. Jackson?
That's the one.
Okay.
Or even the fact that Reed Richards has gray hair and isn't, 20.
Right.
That kind of thing. But this series picks up after that, so there's no Fantastic Four in this comic. Magneto is the last man standing in this comic.
The zombies?
It opens with him just in a ruined city fighting off an army of zombified Marvel heroes.
So, in this zombie universe, it's not like zombies aren't the normal, like something went horribly wrong and zombies started happening.
Zombies were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's just the Marvel hero zombies, and nothing's left on the planet because they ate it all.
They ate all the other zombies?
They not the other zombies. They ate basically once you're patient zero, once whoever it is who got infected. Once the infection reaches a superhero, it's just the superheroes who stay infected, and everything else just dies.
Wow. Well, because, come on, superhero zombies is pretty terrifying.
Pretty much. So he puts up a really good fight. Magneto. He drives a steel beam through Daredevil's chest, which doesn't really slow him down.
Which is really just a normal day for Daredevil.
Kind of true. He breaks Spider-Man's leg nearly in half, like it's dangling off. And then he
still throwing quips out there? Is he still Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah. He's still acting like Spider-Man. They all still
act like themselves, but they have to eat brains.
They're hungering for human flesh.
Interesting.
And then he takes Captain America's shield, or here in this universe, Colonel America. It's not exactly our universe. So you got an older Iron Man armor.
America.
Yeah. He takes his shield and slices Captain America. I'm going to call him Captain America because I'm used to it.
Let's do it.
Just know that he's Colonel America.
Right.
Slices his head open so his brains are kind of dangling out. But he's still active. It cuts the top of his head off.
And he's still
He's got just enough for brains to leak out and for him to go look what that guy did to my head. I get double rations when we catch him. Because they're cogent and they have their personalities. Magneto gets away, but he gets this radio call from Asteroid M. For those who may not know, way back in the day, Magneto used to live on an asteroid called Asteroid M.
Oh yeah.
That's where he kept all of his mutant buddies. And he gets a call and he's like, "What? Survivors?" And they're like, "Yeah. We're here in Asteroid M. We managed to get the power working. We're okay. You should come up and get it. Come be with us." And he's like, "Cool." Then the Marvel heroes ambush him again. He cuts off Hawkeye's head, takes one of his arrows, and magnetically puts it through Thor's throat.
Whoa.
And then just brings down a building on the zombies. But then the Wasp shows up behind him and just bites him in the neck. And they just tear him apart.
So close, Magneto.
Yeah, they just descend and just shred him. And then afterwards, this is the interesting thing. As zombies, they have their personalities. Mm-hmm. But once they have eaten, they can start to get a little more clarity. So they're a little less bloodlusty once they've actually eaten. Which means that they start to act like themselves, which means Peter Parker is immediately racked with guilt for everything he's done as a zombie.
What?
Instantly. He can't undo it. He's the only one still wearing a mask, a full-body mask. Or, a not full-body mask. You know what I mean? A full-face mask.
From head to toes.
That's actually what he wears.
Like a sleeping bag.
To be fair, he does wear a full-body mask.
He does wear a full-body mask. How does he get out of that?
But, he's, immediately "Oh, I can't believe what we've done." And everyone's like, "Come on, man."
We've been eating people for decades.
Hulk, when he calms down, turns into Bruce Banner. Hulk got a whole Magneto leg to himself. Bruce Banner now has a whole Magneto leg just in his stomach. And then
because the size difference.
And then it pops out.
Oh.
And he's just like, "Crap, this doesn't heal anymore." He just sort of has to hold himself together until he hulks out again.
That's awesome.
And Wolverine, he's not healing. They start talking about Wolverine's "Well, I guess my healing factor doesn't do anything now."
Because
but I think we need our brains. And Magneto or Captain America's holding a handful of his brains. He goes, "I mean, maybe." But
not entirely sure.
Not
guys.
all of it, I guess.
I'm still feeling pretty good.
And that's the thing, is they're trying to figure it out. And Hank Pym is Hank Pym is at this point, he's Giant Man. He's not really Ant-Man, he's Giant Man.
But he's Giant Zombie Man?
He's Giant Zombie Man, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's lording over all of them. And he's very pragmatic. He seems to have taken charge. Because he's saying things like, we need to figure out the food crisis.
Because we probably just ate the last person.
They pretty sure they ran out of the last person, and they have a lot more allies. They have a lot more zombies they need to feed. they're trying to figure out what they're going to say to Iron Man. When they get back, they're going to be like, well, he blew up a gas station, so, like, you know, no one got to eat him. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry,
no
Iron
rations.
Man. Zombie problems, am I right, guys?
And then the
Jeez.
Silver Surfer shows up.
What?
The Silver Surfer shows up above them in the sky, and they all go...
But he's not a zombie. He's not a zombie
They don't
Silver
even know
Surfer?
who he is.
Oh.
That's the interesting thing, is this Marvel Universe has never even seen the Silver Surfer. And then he flies away before any of them could have gotten to him. And
damn it!
An Angel from the X-Men, who's there for some reason. I mean...
Sure, why not?
It's kind of everyone. Angel's like, oh, I could go catch him, and Pym's like, yeah, and I'd have the Hulk tear you apart, or I'd Thor break you with his makeshift hammer. He's not using real Mjolnir, because he's not really worthy anymore.
Because he's no longer worthy.
So it's clear, like, these guys don't really trust each other alone. They don't really trust each other with any potential food source.
Let's be honest, they've eaten a lot of people, so their moral lines are a little bit skewed.
They've eaten all the people.
Right. So it's like, well, if I'm okay with eating probably my own Aunt May, I'm probably okay not telling you that I did it, you know?
And, like, Janet, the Wasp, took a chunk of Magneto and flew away with it.
Right.
And she was like, I get to make this last longer because I can shrink down.
I'm tiny. That is perfect.
So Pym says, all right, I'm going to go look for Janet. I'm going to go find my wife. And then he actually does not go there. He goes to a secret lab where he has the Black Panther kept in storage.
Oh, gross.
Black Panther is alive and missing an arm
sad.
and sedated. And it's super messed up.
Oh,
For those
man.
who may not know, we haven't talked about him on the show.
No, I don't think so.
Black Panther is a character from like early 60s of Marvel. He's an African hero. He's actually the king of this African country, which is way more technologically advanced than any
super
of us.
badass country.
He has no powers, but he's just the best at everything. He's like the Batman, but without like the childhood trauma.
Yeah.
He's just really good at stuff.
Like if Batman just like grew up to be just, you know, just own being king of Gotham.
Yeah,
basically.
if he was the king of Gotham, he had all the Wayne technology legitimately.
And
And
instead
they were
of
like,
being
here
like-
you go, you are our avatar and savior.
You know, it's interesting to think of it like that because Gotham took a step back when the Waynes went away. It's like if they had stayed around and he had just rose to normal power, it would have been like, this is a beacon of the country.
Exactly, and the Black Panther's like the king, their mantle passed on, except they're a superhero.
Yeah.
Which
His
is
name's
awesome.
T'Challa, right?
T'Challa is his name, yeah.
Awesome.
So he's sedated, and Hank Pym is cutting off his leg.
It was important for us to get you to know this character just so you can feel extra sad when we tell you how
He's an
sad this
Avenger.
is.
He's one of the main Avengers.
He's part of the Illuminati, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get into like the super minutia,
Right.
Yeah, but he's
we'll
one
stay
of
on the surface.
But he's one of the big sciencey guys of the Marvel Universe, which means he and Hank Pym are buddies. And Hank Pym is saying, like, look, man, I'm sorry, that there wasn't that much Magneto, and I need to kind of get a clear head, so this is what I need to do.
So he's got to eat it. Oh, man, that is a weird...
If he wants to do science, that's
He's
what he
gotta
needs
eat
to
people.
do. And if he needs to figure out the food crisis, he needs to do science.
As grotesque as this comic is, it's pretty clever in how it's trying to
very
twist
much
around
so.
the zombie kind of formula.
Very much so. And the thing is that this is interesting because Pym basically monologues to an unconscious T'Challa and says the scary thing to him is that he probably wouldn't stop eating flesh if they found a cure because he likes the tastes.
Weird.
Like he's enjoying eating flesh, and he says that's the most troubling thing to me, and I'm cutting off one of my best friend's legs, and I'm fully aware that this is messed up, that I should be more unsettled. Then Janet shows up, and she accuses him of hoarding, which, you know, he has a whole sleeping dude.
He did.
Yeah, and she's like, you have to share, and he's like, why? What can you do to me? I can't feel pain. None of us feel pain. And he gets big and backslaps her, backhands her. Because, guys,
If you didn't know,
Hank Pym once hit his wife, which was terrible.
yes.
And then perpetually has been defined by that moment.
And I guess even in zombie format.
Every version of him now will be a wife-abusing lunatic.
We're pretty sure Michael Douglas isn't going to backhand anybody in the new Ant-Man film, but
Can't rule it out.
we can't be sure.
Can't rule it out. But, you know, he backhands her, and she's like, I will tell everyone. And so he takes her and just bites off her head.
What?
And just spits it out. Because he hates the taste of zombie.
Of zombie.
And he's just like, damn you for making me
But
do
she's
that.
just dead.
Oh, she's dead. Well,
Right.
he bit off her head and just spit
Zombie
it out.
rule. Take off the head, it's dead.
And she spit it out, and then he just takes Chala's leg, and he is starting to wake up. He's like, kill me. And he's like, oh, right, your sedation wore off. Yeah, I'll go help you in a minute. I really need to eat your leg. And just walks away and eats his leg.
Jeez.
Yeah. So the Silver Surfer sweeps the planet, and he just sees desolate, like, it's zombie Captain Britain and zombie Sunfire in Japan and zombie Doctor Doom, and like,
which is probably even more terrifying than normal.
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
The heroes go back to Times Square, and it's all the Marvel heroes are there. It's Iron Fist, it's Ghost Rider, it's literally like everyone.
Zombie Ghost Rider?
He doesn't look that different.
What is that? What is that even? How does that even work? He's like a demon or something.
I think it's Ghost Rider. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Unless it was just like a severed head that's on fire in a fight. But
well, in all fairness, a zombie virus that would get all of the superheroes on the planet has got to be like some kind of like magic.
It's got to be
magic
severe,
super science zombie virus because, like, you know,
Hulk.
Hulk,
Wolverine.
You know, any of these people that would have things that just naturally, you know, of course this wouldn't affect me.
Yeah. But like Nova's there. It's everybody under the sun.
Wow.
They're all zombies. Luke Cage, he's rolling. He's like one of the main guys in the series. So they're in Times Square, and Iron Man's like, so what happened, guys? And they're like, yeah, you know, Magneto accidentally blew a gas line and he died and there was no food. Iron Man's like, really? Then why is Bruce Banner with you and not the Hulk? Hey, Spidey, how do you feel about your aunt and Mary Jane? How'd you feel about eating them? Oh, don't bring it up again. Guys, you clearly ate food. Like, look at this.
Clever.
Yeah, he's
clever Iron Man.
He's smart. And then, but he's not really pissed at them. He's like,
yeah, I kind of knew this.
He's like, yeah, I'm just mad I didn't get a taste. And guys, we got to figure out this food crisis. And he's like, we need to do it before we start ignoring the fact that we all taste terrible and start eating each other. Like, maybe we can start splitting up and like looking for survivors. Like, Captain America, like, do you remember where like the bunker for like the president or something would be? And Colonel America's like, I don't know. I mean, kind of. I didn't really serve a full term. So Colonel America was president for a while.
Fun fact.
Apparently.
Colonel America.
And then the Silver Surfer shows up again. And he shows up and he says, because he is a herald of Galactus, your world has been chosen to be judged, to be eaten by Galactus.
I have a feeling Galactus is going to regret this decision.
They descend on the Silver Surfer. All of these superheroes just attack him. And he's like trying to say, you should be honored that your world will be sacrificed so that others can be spared. And they immediately start trying to eat him. And he's like, what are you doing? What is happening? And like,
do they eat him?
Well, like Hulk breaks his teeth against the Silver Surfer's skin. Like,
right, because he's like, you know, space magic.
And then like he's firing cosmic blasts. He severs, just disintegrates Iron Man from the waist down.
Whoa.
And he's just like lying on the ground. He's like, crap, Luke, throw me at him. Like,
fastball special me, Luke.
Exactly. Spider-Man tears off the rest of his leg because it's just slowing him down. And they try to like make Hulk out, but he's like, he doesn't Hulk out until he gets hungry because he can't feel pain.
Right. So he just doesn't get angry.
He has to get
anymore.
That's how he like goes after them. That's how they make him Hulk out. Wolverine swings at Silver Surfer. Here's the thing: his flesh has rotted, so he hits the Silver Surfer. His blades do not go into the Silver Surfer. Mm-hmm. His arm keeps going. His skeleton does not.
Stays. Ooh.
So his muscles and things just rip off of his skeletal arm.
Oh, God.
And he's just to cut off the remainder from the elbow down.
Jeez.
It's super messed up.
God.
They're fighting him.
Fun thing to think about, though. Never thought of adamantium coming to blows with the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
That's interesting to know.
Exactly.
Thanks, Marvel Zombies.
And then the Hulk manages to get a bite. He just bites off the Silver Surfer's head.
Whoa, in one bite?
Yeah, just chews it. Well, he gets a good blast to the face first, but then he just tears it off.
Whoa.
And then they just start tearing him apart. It's just like with Magneto, we get this montage of certain heroes. It's not all of them. The ones who really descend, some of the ones we've been following through this story. Colonel America, Luke Cage, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Giant Man, Hulk, and Wolverine.
It is so interesting still that they call him Colonel America, even though everyone else is most definitely their regular superheroes.
Yeah, well, they're also kind of from different eras.
Okay.
So we've got like 70s, like yellow satin silk shirt and inexplicable tiara,
Luke Cage,
and like old school retro armor, like not like bulky, but like very classic, like early Avengers Iron Man.
Interesting.
So it's interesting. It's kind of from all over. They're kind of hidden because Nova didn't exist. Yeah. When Iron Man wore that armor.
It must have been just Robert Kirkman being like, who's my favorite silly version of this hero to make them zombies?
It's just kind of like everything. It's its own universe. It can be whatever he wants. So everyone else is super pissed that only 7 people got to eat any Silver Surfer. Mm-hmm. You know? So these 7 heroes just vaporize all the others. Because they now have the Silver Surfer's cosmic powers.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Which they don't realize until Captain America's like, you know, hey, Beast, you know, you shut up, and then lightning comes out, or lasers come out, and Beast's head is gone, and they're like, oh, okay, we can solve a little bit of this food crisis. Let's see if we taste any better extra crispy.
Oh my god.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't taste better extra crispy.
Guys, if there's one thing to take away from this episode, it's that
zombies don't taste better fried.
Don't cook them with cosmic rays. Just what we're saying.
We cut to Black Panther, who is hobbling down the streets. He has
escaped.
He's escaped. He found a stick. He taped it to his arm. He was bandaged. You know, Giant Man treated his wounds, but he's managed to find a stick and he's using it as a crutch. He bandaged that to himself solo. He's carrying Janet's severed head, which is just begging him for a bite.
Wait, it's
still going.
Oh,
and it's just like, just give me a finger. Just give me something. I just need to eat you. And he's like, Janet, please. I can't see you like this. This is so awful. Like. I'm sorry, but and she's like, no, I don't want to turn you. Just give me a little. You can cut it off first. Just cut off your finger and give me a little nibble. He's like, you are my friend. You have nothing from the neck down. You can't digest it. What is the matter with you? And she's like, I can only think about eating you. Until I eat you, I can't think about anything else. And he's just like, I just can't do this, Janet. But he just takes a minute to rest, and that's when these heroes show up, or not heroes, these super people show up. From Asteroid M.
Yeah, let's be certain to say that probably nobody around here anymore is a hero.
These people show up. These humans.
Oh, they are
show
human.
up. Who are from Asteroid M? These were the survivors.
Yeah, the ones that Magneto was speaking.
They're the Acolytes. Now you're not an X-Men guy. The Acolytes are kind of like the Brotherhood of Mutants from like the movies. Not like that lineup, but like that message where they're more like they're not terrorists. They're like followers of people who are trying to liberate mutants. But, you know, sometimes they're following Mr. Sinister.
Right.
So...
This sounds like a good idea, right, guys? We're doing the good thing?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm supposed to blow up what thing?
Everything?
All right. Oh, okay. Well...
Again, I'm not a big X-Men guy. That's probably a grotesque oversimplification.
We're sorry, lovers of Acolytes.
I'm sorry. Point is, mortals. And they look at a bandaged Black Panther who says, like, I don't want to hurt you. They're like, oh, look, it's a human. Why do you have a zombie head with you? So back in Times Square, these superheroes have cosmic powers and they can like fly and they have lasers and they're like, so maybe we should go scour the earth. Maybe we should find some other survivors.
Man,
then
something terrible has just gone even more terrible by these guys.
Galactus shows up.
Oh,
and he goes, I will come to eat your planet. Where's my herald? They're like, well, we ate him and we're still hungry. And there's this great shot at the beginning of issue 3 where they're like, yeah, we're still hungry. And he goes, you hunger? And there's this big 2-page spread where he just shoots lasers out of his fingers and goes, you hunger!
Just like...
Because if anyone knows hunger, guys, it's
Galactus.
the dude who eats planets. They are clearly outmatched, so they retreat. And Hank Pym's like, guys, I have this plan. We can get the science guys together, you know, and Bruce Banner's turning back into Bruce Banner. He's like, oh, guys, I'm sorry. He's like, no, it's okay. We need Bruce Banner. I've got something in my lab, don't be mad, but it's going to help us with our science. And they get down there and they find Janet's body. He's like, no, I know, I had to kill Janet. But
don't worry about it, guys.
There's one more thing, and he opens up the locker, and there's no Black Panther. And he's like, yeah, it was just the Janet thing. I just had to kill Janet, and that's what I wanted to show you guys, and that was it. And he's so upset, like he's just like, my source of flesh. Damn it. This is so bad. I actually needed him for science.
I needed him for a reason.
I needed his scientific mind, and also to eat him to get a better scientific mind. There's a bunch of reasons I needed a Black Panther right now. But Black Panther goes to Asteroid M with the Acolytes.
Yay!
With his severed Janet head, which, by the way, the Acolytes attacked him earlier, and he kicked their asses even though he had one arm and one leg, and he threw Janet's head at one of the guys.
And did she bite them?
Yes.
Nice.
Heartily.
Haughtily bitten.
But they go up to Asteroid M and they're like, yeah, let's work on a cure together, and here's the severed head of my friend, treat her well, but use her to find a cure. Meanwhile, these science guys are working on a solution. Captain America's like zipping all over the planet, getting like equipment, and he comes back and he finds out that the science guys have been like taking bits of flesh out of their stomachs and putting them back in, like eating them again.
Oh, weird.
Just so they can like keep their clarity. And he's like, oh man, I want to try that. Like, no, it's awful. And also, we don't have time because it's finished. And they build this big gun. And they go wheel it out to Galactus, and they find all the supervillains are attacking Galactus.
Interesting.
Like Venom and Red Skull and Dr. Octopus, and everyone's just like swarming him. They're actually like doing some damage.
Hurting him.
He's reeling. But the heroes have this big gun, and they fire their cosmic energy into it all at once, and it shoots Galactus and brings him down to his knees. And they keep shooting him, and then they have to fight the heroes, or the villains rather. And the Red Skull like takes a handful of Captain America brains out of the exposed skull.
Still exposed.
That's what it takes, I guess, to kill one of these guys. You just scoop out the brains.
And then just like, oh, that's what I needed. Boom.
Oh, thump, dead. But then they pretty much take down these villains. You know, Wolverine puts his remaining fists, his claws, into Juggernaut's face, and then cosmic lasers his body.
Jeez.
They just tear him apart. And then Galactus is just, he's still up. He's like on his knees. He's like, no mortal intellects can threaten Galactus. But they tear him to pieces.
Like, eat him?
They start chewing on Galactus.
Oh my god.
And we jump 5 years in the future.
Whoa.
We jump ahead, and Black Panther and the Acolytes fly down. And the city is overrun with greenery. Trees and vines and stuff. It was just this blackened, like, ruined apocalypse city before, and now it's, like...
A little bit greener. A little bit nicer.
It's lush. It's like...
Life has found a way.
Exactly. But not human life, because there is none. And not zombie life, because there is none. And they're doing these scans, and they're like, yeah, this is what we were getting from Asteroid M, and we didn't believe it, and we couldn't be sure, but they're scanning for zombies. And Janet has, by the way, like a robot body now. Her brain is in her head is in a tank of floating water, and she's got a robot body, and she's like on their side.
She's not craving human flesh anymore?
Doesn't seem to be after them for it, which is nice.
That's good.
But they're
it's what
like,
you want from your robot, android, zombie cyborgs.
Exactly. But they're all looking around, and they're like, so where's the zombies?
I knew we left some zombies here somewhere.
We cut to this alien planet where these scientists on another alien world are like, no, I'm sorry, the readings are correct. Galactus is coming. And it's here now. And it's 6 superhero zombies dressed like Galactus. They don't have the purple helmets. They don't have the purple helmets, but they've got like the purple suits, and it's Hulk and, you know, Giant Man and Iron Man and Spider-Man and Luke Cage and Wolverine, and they are descending as Galactus on an alien world.
Wait, so but they're still individual.
They're still individual.
They're not like Voltron style.
No. They're just 6 guys, just like they have the powers of the Silver Surfer.
But they're not big. They're their normal size.
You can't tell.
Oh.
Because I assume they're regular size.
Right.
But, I mean, Giant Man's bigger than the others.
Oh my god, so they became the new Galactus.
They're the Galactus zombies.
Oh my god.
They ate enough of Galactus that there was no more Galactus.
They made a thing even worse already again!
Yeah, it's the worst case scenario.
The worst case scenario that can hit your planet. Not only Galactus, but a zombie Galactus.
There's 6 of them.
That's awesome. Awesome. I mean, great main segment, guys. I hope everybody got their spooks and their chills out of that, which is going to roll us right into our very special Super Mundane. Alright everyone, this is our game segment Super Mundane. As you may have heard before, Super Mundane is where I will name a mundane task or activity, and we'll have to figure out which hero of Marvel or DC is the best and worst of doing this specific activity or mundane task. Now, for our very special episode, we'll have a spooky mundane activity.
Cool.
Said spooky a lot. Did we overuse it? We didn't. Anyways, spooky mundane activity is best at creating your own haunted house.
Oh, this is such a good one for this Halloween. Okay.
Now, there are I feel like there's gotta be like a lot of immediate options, right? Like, you've got Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's a really good one, actually. But here's the thing about Doctor Strange. He's playing with live ammo.
That's true.
That is legitimately some super dangerous, like, real magic.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go to Doctor Strange's haunted house.
Now, here's my question. Is it a haunted house you walk through it?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so he's got, like, actual copies of the Necronomicon, I think. Probably.
He'll just have signs where really, don't touch these books. Please don't touch these books.
And it's Halloween. So you're saying things like,
and actually,
oh no, I bet it's just a prop. Oh, I'll check out this bowl of eyeballs. Oh my god!
Actually, the Sanctum Sanctorum, he probably wouldn't need to dress it up too much to be a best haunted house.
No, it's a haunted house.
It's legitimately scary haunted house all day, every day.
It's legit. Iron Man. Would be interesting, because that dude has holograms and robots.
Oh, that's true.
That dude, if we know anything about that guy, when he wants to do a gimmick, he commits to a gimmick.
He does. He'd have a pretty good, and there'd be some good comedy sense to it. Because
it would be tongue-in-cheek. It would be fun.
Because a good haunted house is one that you have a little bit of those scares, but like you have fun. That's why people go to haunted houses. They don't go to like, man, I really thought I was going to die tonight. That was amazing. They want to have a little of the fun.
He would keep it light. I also feel like he wouldn't get as into the haunted house as like the bar Or, you have, like, fun with, like, the cocktails.
Yeah.
Even, like, sober, modern Iron Man still would be more interested in, like, putting on a good party than a good haunted house. Here's one that I feel like is a little off-center.
Okay.
Maybe...
I'm intrigued.
Hear me out. Mr. Fantastic.
What?
Because he does have kids.
Right.
He's good with his kids. Not always, but when he makes a point, when the writer makes a point, let's be fair, to say Reed is having a day for his kids. He's having a family day. He's going to do something nice. He does it well.
Okay.
Because when he commits to something, he's like, I'm going to take my kids on a fun family trip. We're going through time. That was the plot of the Matt Fraction run. They went to, like, see the signing of the Declaration of Independence. They got to see, they got to meet Caesar. They got to see all of these great things from history.
So the idea of putting super science to super family fun.
That's what I mean for a haunted house. He would have a lot of fun with, again, you've got the holograms, you've got the robots. That dude has access to a world called the Negative Zone, which is literally filled with insect-like monsters. So maybe not the Negative Zone. Maybe that's not the way to go. But he would have a legitimately fantastic haunted house.
He would. I'm trying to think. Yeah, haunted house. Such a weird one. So many things fall into it.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter would be
Batman.
fun. Oh my god!
How did we not land on Batman, the guy with a bat cave?
You could just have it in the Batcave. Would just be the haunted house.
He's
just like
his mansion.
actually,
Dude, he has a mansion.
How scary would that be if it was just like the haunted house is try to go through the Batcave, see if you can like that would be scary enough. Like Batman is a scary character.
He also
in the
has a
DC
perfect
universe.
Clue house. Alfred would have a ball decking that out with like cobwebs and like corpses.
And we get special guests from the Bat family playing. Like,
yes.
By the way, we could have like references to like the Scarecrow kind of characters.
Yeah, he would have like
it.
it would be a Gotham haunted house. You'd have like the Joker, quote unquote. It's played by Dick Grayson or whatever. Maybe not. Maybe that's a little bridge too far. But they would dress up like you've got Barbara Gordon as the Bride of Frankenstein. Whatever. They would have fun. Some kid would wander into the Batcave. It's the perfect time to say, "You found the extra super secret part of the haunted house. Here's the extra candy.
Yeah, we set up a whole
Here's the
Batcave.
good candy." That's the best. In our Gotham themed, we have the Batcave.
In the Batcave, I mean, he has a giant T-Rex and giant pennies. That place is built for having elaborate, crazy
Alfred
setups.
would dress as like Batman or Dracula. No, Batman would dress as Dracula because he already dresses like Dracula. Guys, I know in previous episodes when we've played this game, we played every other episode, we've said we're not going to use Batman as the right answer because he's a trump card. He's good at everything. He's the best at everything.
He is just always the best.
But guys, he's Halloween as a person.
Yeah, he just is always Halloween all the time.
The best. Of the horror-themed characters, Blade, Ghost Rider, none of those guys are going to do a good job with this.
Yeah.
No, this is Batman's elements. Very literally, fear is his element. Yeah. And he has a mansion. Like, he's got everything you need.
He has the perfect setup. You
He's
can even go to the
theatrical
cave
as hell.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He would have all the best disappearances. I mean, if you're going to have things come out from you in the shadows, you have a whole family trained to lurk in the shadows.
Yes, he's dressed as Dracula. You've got everyone. You've got the Wolfman. You've got...
I want to go to a Batman haunted house so bad.
We should do that for Halloween.
We should do that for Halloween. Side note, because comics special haunted house, Batman haunted house. Awesome.
So, that's easily the best answer.
That's easily the best, Batman. Whew, finally he got one.
Who would
the
be
worst?
The worst.
Setting a best haunted house. Like, who just doesn't get the concept of Halloween?
How about Superman?
Superman would be terrible at having a haunted house.
His idea of a costume is glasses. That dude gets Christmas. That dude is not the guy who gets his mind around, why do you want to scare people?
Yeah.
That's literally the opposite of what he wants.
Exactly.
I hate frightening people. I'm showing them my face and I'm wearing a badge on my chest.
I'm pretty excited that we found something that literally Batman and Superman can be the best and worst
finest.
at. The world's finest, having that one polarizing area is
what divides them is Halloween.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Because he's not a haunted house guy. He has a great time at parties,
yeah.
I'm sure, but he's not going to put on a great... Because he doesn't want people to be afraid.
Yeah.
That's literally his
He's going to jump out and scare somebody and they're like, I'm just kidding. I'm just I'm not Superman. I mean, I'm just Clark Kent. We're just having fun. Just having fun. God, I love this.
Wow.
Batman, Superman, they don't line up on Halloween. Sorry, everybody.
That works really well.
It does. All right. Well, that's our segment. Batman, best at putting on a haunted house. Superman, not so much.
It's all right. He's got many other fine qualities.
Got a lot of other fine qualities. All right, guys. Well, that was our spooky episode 13 of Because Comics.
We didn't plan to have episode 13 land on Halloween. We're just so delighted that it did.
Yeah, perfectly worked out. So, guys, as always, we'll be posting a new episode every other week. If you'd like to download more episodes or check out other similar podcasts like our Blockbuster Punch-Up and Roll to C's, head over to partialarc.com. That's ARC with a C. Of course, you can email us any questions at becausecomics@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at partialarc. And be sure to check out more content from our comic boy wonder Mike Christensen at supergeekmike.com and at supergeekmike on Twitter. Thanks for listening, and remember,
we would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids and that pesky dog.
And that bat dog.
There is a bat dog.
There is a bat dog.
And by the way, how many times have Scooby-Doo and the gang teamed up with Batman?
Teamed up with Batman.
So many times.
So many times.
Because comics.